For the first time in more than 5.5 years, we finally tonight have a few new answers to a question that has loomed over Indiana and over the town of Delphi. Who killed Abby Williams and Libby Jones?
From the end of the bridge to, you got to go through. Now, I believe that the bodies were found about 50.
Born from a family's grief and determination. In April of 2020, Army soldier Vanessa Guillen went missing while stationed at one of the largest military installations.
You hear that little music in the background that goes, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious."
Right.
Knew about it or was there. He's as guilty as the person who committed it.
Chilling details in the arrest of a suspected serial killer caught before he could strike again.
They dropped the ball, man. Like, they said he went AWOL, and that he was a deserter, and nobody went to look for him.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder.
Like I said, we're going back. We were asked last time to kind of talk about the food, the grub truck video, and kind of give our perspective of it. The press release from the police department, it indicated that they're still trying to put pieces together from that night. Does that worry you at any point or at any bit that they're still trying to put those pieces together?
It's been over 5 weeks since little Kaylee Anthony vanished. Her mother, Casey, has been arrested for lying to police. She's being held without bail.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000. It still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to The Drunken Turkey Show, your one-stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Drunk Turkey Show. I'm your host, Daniel J., and alongside with me, as always, I'm in Big Blue. Tonight, Big Blue's not working. Hyman's feeling better, so we are drinking. Hyman, how you doing tonight? What you drinking?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good now that I have one of these in my hands. I'm actually drinking Crown Royal salted caramel whiskey with some Dr. Pepper. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking some Bird Dog chocolate flavored whiskey with some Pepsi.
Nice. How does that combination work?
It works. It works real well.
Oh, man, we need to get a sponsorship. That's from sure. Hey, Big Blue, how you doing tonight? And what are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking Slane. It's a triple cast whiskey, Irish whiskey. And somebody says take a shot for him. I'll take a swig for you, okay? Yep. Tastes just as good.
Yep, it sure does. So today we're going to be talking about a white truck that has been on the minds of a lot of folks. We first got an email, I think it was on Christmas Day, from Stephanie, asking us to look into the white truck. And since then, it's been blowing up in our email, on our Twitter, on our Facebook. And if you guys want to get a hold of us, you have theories, you have thoughts, you have questions, you have pictures, or anything that you want us to look into, make sure that you hit us up at our email, which is, put it down at the bottom. It's thedrunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. And our Twitter is at Drunk Turkey Show. And Facebook, you can find us the Drunk Turkey Show as well. And
yes, sir.
Stephanie sent us a link for another YouTube content creator by the name of Dr. Thrifty. And he's been doing some work trying to locate a couple of trucks that have been in the background of a couple of videos. He's doing some great work, and I wanted to get y'all's opinion and break it down, and we'll go through it.
Sounds good.
So let's look at what truck initially they were talking about. I'm gonna unmute this. We'll mute everybody else so they can hear, because I want you guys to hear the sound that this truck makes. It'll kind of give us an idea of what kind of truck it is.
What did you say to Adam? Like,
So that is the white truck in question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me push this back a little bit. I'm going to share this.
Sound of a diesel truck.
It sounds like a diesel truck. That's
Yes, sir.
exactly my thought, 100%. In hearing it, it sounds like a diesel truck. Looking at the back window, the squared look of it looks like a Ford to me. It looks kind of
F-250
squared. Yeah, I'm thinking F-250. It could be a Dodge, though. I mean, it does kind of have a little rounded front end. I mean, the roof part.
Yeah.
Right here, that looks a little rounded. So it could be a Dodge. But that back window and that space between those windows, those pillars remind me of a Ford F-250.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a diesel truck. Let me pull up some pictures. Let me see.
Even towards the headlights, it kind of does look rounder, like a Dodge. But maybe if you can get a side by side, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. And so here's a Ford F-250, late 2000s, early 2000s model. You see the square window. You see the white pillar there. This looks very squared off, very similar to the other truck. Let's see. And this right here would be a Dodge. As you can see, it has that rounded edge. The pillar here is a little bit more narrow, in my opinion. That definitely wasn't a mega cab. You would have been able to tell if it was a mega cab. If at all, it would have been this model of truck. But I think that pillar might be a little bit too thin, in my opinion. Let me see. And so that pillar looks a little bit thicker to me.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this is an F-250. That's my opinion on it. What is it doing? A lot of folks said that maybe perhaps they were following the girls. Looks like he's about to park. I'm going to keep this muted. That way we can just finish watching what he's doing. Yeah, he's pulling into a parking spot. And so we pulled up the area in which this footage was taken. I speculate that it's parking probably around right here. The camera's over there. You can see the Idaho banner on this pillar here. Go back one. Right there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's right in front of.
So there's that that Idaho banner right here. This is the pole. So it's about 3 or 4 spaces up. It's near that tree.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go back to Google Earth. It's going to be way over here. And so it's parking right here where this van is. My speculation is the time of night, it's 1:30 in the morning, more or less, give or take. They're probably going to this bar here, and it's probably there's no parking anywhere else, and they're parking to get last call drinks. That is my speculation. What do you guys think?
It's kind of late, isn't it?
I think they were probably going to the food truck.
I mean, 1:30. I mean, the food truck's kind of far from here. You can probably park a little bit closer.
1:30 is like last call, isn't it? Close to last call?
Well, it depends, man. I mean, I've gone to a couple of bars where last call's right at 2 a.m. You can get a drink or two, and then they allow you to finish them up. There used to be a game me and my buddies used to play. It was called beer golf, where we had a designated driver, allegedly, and we did a round of 9 bars that we had tried to attempt to hit at one night. And this is in my younger days. And so, not saying that they were doing that, but they could be bar hopping and just trying to hit as many bars as possible. From what I understand is Moscow is in the area, I guess, the place to go for entertainment when it comes to the younger crowd. without having to travel an excess amount of hours. And so, to go to the grub truck, which was located here, that's a pretty good distance. I mean, I'm fairly positive at 1:30 in the morning, especially if none of these establishments are open, that you could probably find some parking significantly closer than that. My estimation is he's going to the bar at the last call. Now, let me find this real quick. Now, Dr. Thrifty found this, and I wanted to bring it up.
Santa Claus.
That is Santa Claus.
Oh, thought it was a mute. My bad.
So right here, there's a vehicle, a truck that drives through in the back. Let's we'll play it. You know what? Let me slow this down to 25%. Now, the guess is that, or not the guess, but the hypothesis on this situation right here, as you can see it coming in, I don't think that's the same truck. I think that back window looks a little bit small. What do you think, guys?
That's cab and a half, maybe?
Yeah, that's not, I don't think that's the same truck. I took some images of it, some still images. Let me pull those up real quick.
That one looks more like a Dodge. That one looks more like a Ford.
So this is a still image of it. It does have that break in the pillar. It does look actually kind of bigger when you look at it as still. Could it be the same truck? If they were following these young ladies, the theory is that this person could be, if this was the actor in this incident, he could be driving, back to the scene, so to speak.
Checking it out, scoping it out.
Yeah. And so I took a few still images of it so we can kind of zoom in. It's just kind of grainy for me.
Yeah.
But it does look like a bigger truck now that I look at it. It does look lifted as well. You can see some, but that back window looks a little small, in my opinion.
Yeah. It looks like a Dodge, though.
It does look a little bit rounded, huh?
Yeah.
Right here in this top part.
Yeah. Can you let the video play from the start to finish?
Yeah. Let me pull that back out.
Let's see how that looks on the roll.
Yeah. All right. Give me 1 second. I have it slowed down. So you're going to see it come. It's right here. I was almost thinking a Chevy, man. It don't look like a Ford to me.
Yeah, man. It looks more like a Chevy when it's actually driving than the Dodge. Definitely doesn't look like a Ford.
Yeah, they don't look like a Ford.
Ford looks more blocky.
Yeah, Ford is definitely more blocky. But
I own one. Not a white one.
If it was a Dodge, this was from the Truth and Transparency. Let me pause this real quick. It's loud in my ear. All right, so this is from Truth and Transparency. Great YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go check them and Dr. Thrifty. Let them know that the guys at the Drunk Turkey Show sent them. This was parked at the corner there near where Jack D's house and Adam allegedly at one point lived. They lived down the street this direction. This direction here is where the victim's house is at. This is definitely a Dodge, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of looks like a dually too. I don't know.
Yeah. I was gonna say that it does look like it's blocked out right here. So it's the possibility of this being a diesel is quite high. In fact, you know what? Let me show you where this is at. We'll put this so we can put this to rest.
Yeah, but that front end is definitely Dodge.
Yeah, I concur. And so there's the trash can. This is where it's parked. I don't see that vehicle. This was taken in 2022. Let me pull this out of you here. Banners. So right here, Google 2022 is the is when this image was taken. It doesn't appear. I mean, if they do live here, I doubt it. I think this is just a visitor parked right here. It looked like they were parked all the way up here in an area where you're not allowed to park. So this was definitely a visitor to the area. It wasn't somebody that lives there, in my opinion. But you know, here's the thing, man, about white trucks, and this is Moscow, right? This is a small mountain town. They're up near the mountains where it gets cold. You're gonna see trucks everywhere, in my opinion. I mean, like, where's it at? Watch this. Where? Let me put it facing the right direction. That'll help. If I put myself right here where this truck was seen at, right? You have a white truck there. You have a white truck over here. That's a dually. It's possibly a diesel. You know, let's go down the street. There's a white truck there.
Yeah,
there's a white truck there, white truck there. Like that. I understand, you know, there's a white truck parking in that video, and everybody wants to make a suspect out of everybody, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the connection. Are you guys seeing a connection there?
There's probably more white trucks than there is white Elantras, I'll tell you that.
That's probably true. You're absolutely right on that one, Jaime.
It's the cheapest paint color, and it's the work truck. You know what I mean?
Yep.
For sure. You know, I don't think it's involved. The in other news, though. So, are we squashing that one? Are we thinking there's nothing there?
With the security footage.
With that white truck, do you think that there's a possibility there?
At this point, it could be, man. You can't rule it out until it's actually ruled out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's possible, but I mean, I just don't think, you know, the police aren't looking for a white truck. They're looking for a white Elantra. There's got to be reasons for the white Elantra. I think it's squashed. I really do. You know, it's good. Go ahead.
They would have put a press release about the white truck as well. For sure.
And so Moscow put an update press release out yesterday, and not really saying anything. They just talked about the female that the TikToker had accused of plotting this situation with JD or something like that. As you know, they don't see her as a suspect. Mm-hmm. You know, they came out and cleared her right away. Yeah. And said, you know, this isn't a person of interest, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't for Adam. I'm curious about that. Right here, it says there have been numerous inquiries from the members of the public and media to verify digital media published online. Any picture or video provided through the official public records request process is authentic. However, once a record is released, we can no longer verify its authenticity, as we do not know if anything has been altered. Detectives are aware of videos distributed by local businesses. And so I think that's pertaining to the picture at the corner club, the one that we saw. I think that's what that is pertaining to. They're aware of, you know, of videos that have been distributed by local businesses. I think it's that video. I think it's the where's Adam, or you told Adam everything video.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Investigators believe someone has information that adds context to what occurred the night of the incident and continue requesting additional pictures, video, and social media content. Our focus remains on the investigation, not individuals' activities displayed in the tip. Whether you believe it's significant or not, your information might be the one that the puzzle pieces that help solve this crime. Digital submission tips leads will be publicly disclosed due to our ongoing commitment to keep information private, and details may be pertinent to ongoing criminal investigation. They're still looking for progress continues on the 2011 to 13 Elantra, and no suspects has been identified. And right here it says updates will be provided when new information is released. Now, I do want to touch on one thing real quick about Truth and Transparency's video last night.
Mhm.
Did y'all have a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't get to, man.
What about you, Big Blue? You're muted.
And I saw a few of the videos you sent me, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
It was the body cam footage. It was the same night. Yeah, it was at night. And at this time, Xana comes out and she's talking to the officers. Now, this is only at like 12:30 in the morning. And when she comes out and she's talking to the officers, I'm going to see if I can find that clip where they're talking to her.
Yeah, when they ask her about who's inside.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a 50-minute clip, isn't it?
Yeah, but this part isn't that long.
Yeah.
It's not that long of a clip. I'm going to play it now.
Hello, miss.
Hello.
What's your name?
Xana.
Xana, do you live here?
Yes.
Okay, did Megan talk to you earlier?
No.
Okay, does Megan live here?
Megan. I do not have a Megan that lives
Megan
here.
Mogan?
Maddie Mogan, yes.
Madison Mogan, yeah.
Madison Mogan? Okay, she does live here?
Sorry, she is at the club. She's 21. I'm just going to bed. I have a couple of friends over, but This is my idea.
So here, there's some friends. They're in the backyard. They have the music out a little bit too loud. This is only 12:30 in the morning, at midnight, just after midnight. And I'll tell you right now, the first thing that caught my attention about this is that she's intoxicated, like severely. Yeah. She is slurring her speech. She's like all the signs are there. She's extremely intoxicated at this time of night. My anticipation or my guesstimation is that the night of the incident, she was at a frat house that were having a party. They were probably drinking. It sounds like they drink a lot. And if she's this intoxicated at this point, where this is just some people at her house, there's a good chance that while she's with her boyfriend at his fraternity, while they're celebrating or having their parties, that she's probably going to partake in the alcohol. And if they're this intoxicated, one would believe that she could have been this intoxicated or worse the night of the incident, which could, that'll tell me that, then at the time of the incident, if she was knocked out because she was, under the influence of alcohol, that would be a reason why, those people didn't wake up during the incident. You get what I'm saying? I think they could have been extremely intoxicated is what I'm trying to say. Thank you so much, Leticia. We appreciate the super sticker. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
One of our members.
Yeah, thank you. You are one of our members. We appreciate your membership. And we got some news about the membership guys that we're going to be talking about that's going to be happening. We're going to be doing a show, members only show that'll be sent out. It'll be a little bit behind the scenes footage of us breaking down what we know and how we found our information before and after we go on our shows. And it's a little backstage stuff that the members will be the only of those that will be a privilege to seeing. So we appreciate your membership and we appreciate the super sticker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, in my opinion, she's pretty drunk, and you can just kind of hear it in her voice and the way she's talking. I'll let everybody listen to it.
Have you talked to Maddie tonight?
Yes, I have. Oh. She's at the corner club.
Okay. Did she tell you anything about anything that happened earlier or anything like that?
Honestly, not really. I've just been here the past hour.
Okay.
Just trying to go to bed.
Can I grab your ID for me?
Yeah, I'm not 21.
Okay.
My roommates are 21. I just came to go to bed.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
I'm sorry about that.
So this time it was the blonde gal and the guy on the back porch playing music, okay? So
I sincerely apologize about that. Okay. I'm just going to bed.
Okay. So just so you understand, you could be getting a misdemeanor citation for this, which means you have to go in front of a judge and explain why you couldn't keep the people in your house quiet. Okay? We've already talked to Maddie once and told her the same thing. Okay? The only reason she's not getting a ticket is because
And so there's not really much here other than the fact that she's pretty drunk. And I can tell you, I've been that drunk before and that young, and I've knocked out, and I mean, not woken up for several hours. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that the only context that this video brings is the fact that they drank heavily. And if they were drinking heavily, and then there's that chance that this could be an opportunity type of situation where somebody knows that they're drunk, knows that they're going to be incapacitated, and can go in there and do what they did without having to be, not noticed. Even if they made some noise entering the building, even if they knocked down a little pot or whatever the case was in the pictures that we broke down of the crime scene. And so, in my opinion, I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
What do you, it's just a sad situation, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
It always is, man. When you see the videos of the victims, especially like days before the crime,
right?
It's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, Xana's dad had gone in there and changed the locks. Now, there's been a lot of questions whether or not that was the front door or her locks to just her personal bedroom. It could have been one or could have been both. Now, we've seen a lot of people going into this house. There's a lot of people that didn't belong in it. At one point, in fact, earlier that night that we just saw this video, Xana wasn't there, according to, I believe it was Hunter Johnson who opened the door. Nobody was there that owned the house. They had to call Madison. She was at the, down the street or wherever she was at. And, maybe the father felt that they needed to change the locks. Now, a lot of folks have been saying that if they were changing the locks, it would probably be to their personal door. It wouldn't be to the front door. And that's not entirely true. I've rented out houses myself. And if somebody wanted to change the locks on it to put a more secure lock that it's more expensive than I'm willing to put on there, right? And then they have every means to do so, as long as I have access as well, as long as I have, if it was a code, the code or a copy of the key if need to be. And then typically it wouldn't be me, it'd be my the apartment renters managers that we have for the houses that we have for rent. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that the locks that he changed were for hers. And if he changed the front door locks, then that could be a reason why somebody who's been to that house had to find another means in the front door of entering that house.
Yeah.
And it also depends on when he changed the locks. I was watching a video earlier. I think it was Jonathan Lee Riches, and he was talking about that he found out by the media. I haven't yet been able to confirm it, other than the fact that I've seen the media post where Xana's mom said that that Xana's dad did change the locks, but according to him, he said it was done a couple of weeks before the incident. And so somebody who would have gotten broken up with 3 weeks earlier maybe wouldn't be privileged to the new combination, is what I'm trying to say. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Oh, yeah. That's why in the last time we were talking about it, it's like if they change the front door, certain people, like most of the people that were there for prior parties, wouldn't know the lock. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially when they had people over and none of the tenants were there.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to say thank you to Detroit43 for becoming a new member. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's and cheers to you. Thank you so much. We appreciate
the part where you said about drinking and not remembering things, man. It happens, man. There's one time, let me tell you the story. I went to my cousin's bachelor party, right? And I drank a lot. I mean, we went through bottles kind of night. Mm-hmm. And I woke up in the tub like I didn't even remember going to the restroom. But I woke up in the tub, knot in the back of my head, concussion for a day. So it happens, man.
Oh, Blue, you gotta be careful, man. Safety first.
Yeah, I got driven home that night. So that's
Wear,
all the safety I had that night.
wear a helmet next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wear a helmet, bro. Wear a
Oh,
helmet.
no, next time I go drinking, I have to wear my kid's bicycle helmet. You know, little unicorn one.
And so, but yeah, so I'm thinking that, you know, these it was unfortunate. Everybody was out that night from the sounds of it, including the downstairs roommates. They got home a little bit earlier. There's been some speculation, and a lot of folks have asked us to look into the downstairs roommates. We're going to be doing that, and we'll be putting out a video here shortly about it. Apparently, Dylan had posted up some pictures on an account during the time that she stated she was supposedly asleep, and so during the time of the incident, and so we've yet to clarify that, but we are definitely trying to do that as such. George Testing comes in with a membership comment. Big Blue dropped the soap.
Oh,
That's
man.
why he had a concussion in the tub.
That was a good use of his membership comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I almost died that night, man, because I woke up and the tub was dripping and the stopper was open, man. Imagine if the stopper wasn't open and it was closed.
Yeah, Blue, you gotta be safe, man. You gotta be careful. You're the you're the star of the show, man. We can't let you go.
Exactly.
And so
Y'all are, man. Y'all are.
So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna. Oh man, what happened to it? We're going to start answering some phone calls. And so, if you guys are interested in coming out on the show and you have your thoughts, theories, questions, comments, the way we're gonna do this is, you'll be able to come on the show, call the number that's on the screen, and let me see. There it goes. Call the number on the screen, and we'll be able to answer your calls and questions. We're going to give you a couple of minutes. Blue and Jaime, they can hear y'all on the phone, but you guys won't be able to hear them. So what we're going to do is we're going to hear your comment and your question, and then we'll discuss. But before we let you go, we're going to ask Blue and Jaime if they have a question for you. If they do, they're going to have to ask their question, then I'm going to relay the question to you, the caller, so you can hear it, and then we'll discuss afterwards. I hope everybody understands. For whatever reason, I got to figure out a different program. That way they can hear you guys as well. I'm going to put the phone number also in the live chat. So call in. Phone number is 726-202-4054. Give us a call. Let us know what your thoughts and theories are. I'm going to pin this message to the top. Also, please try to keep everything clean. We're trying not to. We're trying to keep it cleaner. But let's see. What does it say? Ben B says, I heard Kaylee was there for the weekend to show her car to Maddie, so somebody took the opportunity while she was there. And E and X were collateral damage because they woke up during the incident upstairs. There's a possibility. We'll talk about that. We got our first caller coming in.
The crazy part about it is like when the cops showed up the first time, none of that.
Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show. You're live on air. This is Dan J. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, Dan. This is Kathy Anderson.
Hey, Kathy. How's it going? What are your thoughts on the case so far?
Well, I'll tell you a couple things. The first thing is like when the girls were walking down the street and she said, what did you tell? Oh, goodness. What did you tell Adam?
Uh-huh.
She might very well have just seen her talking to Adam and asked, what did she tell Adam?
Mm-hmm.
And where the truck parked wasn't across the street like a private club from that truck, like the Elks or Eagles or something.
Let me see. Let's pull it up. So where it parked at, and we can kind of tell exactly where it parked based on the tree that it was in front of.
Yes, and I think behind it, across the street, there was a Elks or Eagles or some
You're
kind of private club.
you're absolutely right. It's right here. This is a bar as well.
They might have been going in there.
Yeah, there's that opportunity.
Hmm.
Yep. You're absolutely right. This could have been
Right.
this could
And
have been where they were going.
I'm a 70-year-old woman, but I think those people had to have been very drunk because they were young. A young guy and a girl coming in on a Saturday night drinking, they would have been awake. They would have been fooling around if they hadn't been drunk, passed out, probably.
Right. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think they were,
Yeah,
they clearly were intoxicated that night. Kaylee and
exactly.
Madison.
I don't mean to be rude, but I think they would have been awake.
Yeah. The girls, you can see them at the grub truck video. They were clearly intoxicated.
Right,
They were
right.
stumbling around. They were.
Yes, I think Madison more than Kaylee, but they were. I've
I
been
agree.
watching you guys, I tell you, and I really appreciate it. And I don't know how you become a member. I'm subscribed, but how do you become a member?
Awesome. So I reckon you probably have an iPhone.
Pardon me?
The device that you're using, is it an iPhone?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so with iPhone users, it's a little bit tricky. You'd have to go to the Chrome, to the website, your Chrome website, not the
Yes,
YouTube app. Go to the website,
right.
type in YouTube, search our show, and then it'll have the notification bell, subscribe bell, and then it'll say join. You just click on the join, and that'll be able to join our membership. We have three different tiers.
All right. Okay. I appreciate it, and I love you guys. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate your
you.
comments. You
Very
have a
much,
great
man.
night. Thank you.
All
Happy
right.
New
I
Year.
look forward to you. You guys are habit for me.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night. I'm still watching.
All righty.
Good
Thank you
night.
so much. You
Have
have
a
a
good
good
one.
night.
You take
You
care.
too. Bye.
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 Great caller, man. Great caller. We appreciate her. Thank her so
Yeah.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And so I'm gonna let this play in the background while we talk to our members and our callers.
Yeah.
If the phone lines are open, so if, I know I've seen another phone call coming in. You now are able to call us.
Somebody find don't private clubs close up a little bit earlier than regular bars? I think private clubs close up later.
It depends.
Yeah.
But if it's like a BYOB situation or it turns into a BYOB, then I think they can. But then again, Idaho's different than Texas. So,
Yeah. Nobody can compare to Texas sometimes.
Yeah.
College
Let's see.
town,
You know what?
they only have like 5 bars. I mean, I think San Antonio's got like over 100 bars.
Yeah.
And I've only been to like 50, so I got some trucking to do.
Eagles FE. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Let's Google this.
Okay.
All right, Eagles Lodge. Oh man, they close at 10. Well, hold on. Let's see. That could be today. Let's see. Saturday. No, they close at 10 o'clock. So I don't think they were going there.
That kind of sounds like those like VFWs kind of things, right?
Right. Exactly. That's exactly it.
But the VFW over here is open till 2. But it's a bar.
We got another caller coming in. Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show. You're live on the air. I'm your host, Daniel. Who are we speaking with?
My name's Suzanne from Hemet, California.
Hey, Suzanne. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Welcome.
I'm doing fine. I really enjoy your guys' show. I enjoy the intenseness of the information that you give.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
I have a kind of off-the-wall question. I really uphold the parents, so this is not about the parents.
Okay.
It's just kind of a weird question. How do you feel about Kylie's dad letting her brother stay in school there?
That's a tough one. I reckon it's probably more on the decision of the brother than the dad. He may still have certain things that he needs to finish, and there may be certain courses that he's going through that don't transfer over. Um, and he may be getting kind of close to the end date of his school year. I'm not sure when he graduates. And so um, that's going to be tough. I think that's going to be tough for the brother once he goes back. Um, I, I don't know how, I don't know if I could do it if I was him.
Do you understand where I'm coming from? I could understand you saying that if it was a parent that doesn't have a child involved in her being taken from us.
Right, exactly.
But I was just really blown away when I heard that. I mean, I don't think they have anything to do with it. It just kind of blows me away that out of safety, he would let him stay in school. I hear what you're saying, but I just thought it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be, it's not so much gonna be weird for him. It's gonna be heartbreaking. The brother is gonna have to go through that and be there, and it's gonna be heartbreaking for him. And it's something that I don't think that I could personally do. I think I would be moving to a different college, depending on the situation. I mean, there's the opportunity that the schools probably or maybe possibly could have some accommodations for him. I'm fairly positive they are, and those accommodations could be equal to maybe being able to be at home and still attend the college virtually. And so
yeah,
like grief count.
well, I was just kind of took me back when I heard that a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
The other thing, this is kind of different too. The guy on the TV right now that doesn't have, he's got that sleeveless shirt on. Could Maddie have his jacket on? I've always thought that. Everybody has a jacket on except him.
No.
And I thought, I wonder if she got that from him.
No, she's actually seen. There's a picture at the corner club where you see these two young ladies at, and she has that jacket in there already.
Okay.
There's been some speculation on that photo, and we'll talk about that photo here in a little bit. But
okay,
yeah, there's she's there. She's talking to somebody. Who it is, it's all for interpretation at this point. It's not a clear enough image for me to say one way.
Well, and it could be that person's jacket, right?
It could
because
be.
I noticed that person did not have a coat on either.
Right, and very much well could be. It could be, but we thank you so much for your call. We appreciate.
I'll let you get back to your hard work.
Thank you so much. You have a great night.
Thank you.
I appreciate all these new shows that have come up in the last 6 months or so.
Yeah. There's been quite a few of us that have populated. Our show was more geared towards just talking. It was just supposed to be me, Jaime, and Blue just having a conversation of random stuff, and then ended up, we got a request to do a true crime podcast to cover the Delphi case. And when we started doing that, people just started loving the way we presented the evidence and talked about the situations. And we've been doing it ever since.
Great job. You do a great job.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
All right.
it.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Great caller. So it is definitely what she had to say about the family or the brother going back it's more sad than anything.
Definitely.
We got another caller coming in, guys. That's from Pennsylvania. Great caller. Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show. You're live on the air. Who are we speaking with?
Hi, I'm Cheryl. I have a question. If Jack Showalter and Jack DeCore, if they were cleared, I wonder who interviewed them, especially if Jack Showalter was in Boise, Idaho. Do the Boise police talk to him? Did they do a phone interview? Did they see him in real life? It's just wondering how they would possibly be cleared if they were never actually seen by someone to see if they had any injuries or anything.
Right. I would suspect that they would talk to them in person. If he was in Boise, then the investigators would take a ride down there and talk to him in person. Um, if it was like significant distance, if he went to, I don't know, maybe California or Texas or something like that, even at that point, I would suspect that they get a plane ticket and fly down there to talk to him regardless. But it might be something that the FBI would do at that point, since Moscow Police Department is utilizing them, and it may be somebody from a nearby field office. But I speculate and feel that they probably talked to them in person, and they really haven't been cleared. If you go through the statement, it says that at this time they don't believe that they're involved, which is different than saying that they are cleared. I don't believe that they're saying that they're 100% cleared, especially when it would be difficult to clear somebody when their alibi is strictly that they were asleep somewhere, even if the unless there was some kind of evidence that put this person significantly far away a short time after the incident or during the incident that would prove that he was awake and around his phone or whatever the case may be. But an alibi with a parent or a friend or a roommate saying that you were asleep, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And I
was
Go
just
ahead.
wondering, I didn't know if Jack DeCourt, if he was asleep at the house by the school, if he was asleep at his parents' house.
See, they haven't came out with that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because when they show video of the next morning with the drone that goes by, there's absolutely no cars at all where Jack DeCourt was.
Right, exactly.
Where his house was, and I heard someone mistakenly say, I think they mistakenly said he was in Boise, but his parents, that's 6 hours south, but his parents live an hour and a half north.
Right.
So I was just wondering where he was
Right.
when he was asleep. So they haven't come out with that.
You see, I assumed that he was at his parents' house. A lot of folks were leaving that weekend, including Kaylee. She wasn't supposed to be there. Her parents said that, and this was from her mom. Her mom said that she was supposed to be back at their hometown and, spending the time with them. However, she had just purchased the Range Rover and wanted to show it to Maddie, and they decided to go out that night. And so a lot of folks were leaving. My guesstimation is that he was either at his house, wherever that may be, which there really isn't a for sure, I guess, confirmation that he still lives at that house that was close by. There's a possibility he doesn't live there anymore. When you look at the house that that Kaylee, Madison, and Zena lived in, there was a lot of turnover there. They lived there basically a semester at a time, and so there's a possibility that those gentlemen were living somewhere else by this point. And so I find it just, if he was staying at his friend's house, I don't think he would have been cleared. Or I mean, if he was staying at the house down the street, I'm sorry, at his alleged home, I don't think there's a way he's cleared or not looked at as a suspect to this point. My guess is he was either at his parents' house or somebody was in his bed that could say that he was with them the entire night.
Yeah. Well, the only last thing I want to say is my whole family's law enforcement. My father always said the worst thing you could come across as a prowler is a dog, and the dog will alert. So I just feel this is someone who definitely knew the dog.
It's possible. The one thing about the dog thing is they said that the dog was in another room. And if the dog was in her room, which would have been, or the dog's name was Murphy, so I'm guessing it's a boy. If the dog was in his room, which my assumption would be Kaylee's room, it'd be comfortable sleeping in that room and being in that room. And Kaylee was in Madison's room, then there's a possibility the dog was just always in her room from the night that it started. And if the person never went in there, it may not have alerted him. But
right. Well, a lot, guys. We love your show. We watch you every day.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you very
Have
much.
a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And it depends on how people, have their dogs at night too. Like I sometimes when I'm bringing my dogs in, I have a kennel for them because she's shedding right now, and it's all over the place, man. So I try to control that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah. And like I have a couple of dogs. Well, I have several dogs, but I have 5, 6 y'all. And so I have several dogs, and I'll tell you that when they get comfortable in a certain spot or in a certain room and they go to sleep there at that time of night, they're staying asleep.
My dog's
Go
kind
ahead,
of
Lou.
weird, man. Like she'll start growling, and it'll be like 5 seconds before somebody knocks on my door. She can hear them.
Yeah, no, dogs are crazy that way. Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show. This is your host, Daniel. Who are we speaking with?
Daniel, Big Blue. Jamie, it's Phil from Canada, bud. How are you?
We're doing well. Welcome
Hey,
to
what's
the
going
show.
on?
International.
Thank you,
caller
guys.
for the
I got to
first
say,
time.
man, I love all three of you guys, but Daniel, the way, no disrespect to the other two fellas, but Daniel, just the way you command everything so calmly, man, just brings a calmness to the whole inquiry.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that.
Appreciate that. But okay, well, I got 2 points to make.
Yes, sir.
One is, so much was made of that video of the girls and Jackass walking across the street. The conventional wisdom is that Kaylee says, Maddie, what did you say to Adam? I've slowed that down a million times, and it sounds like a 1-syllable word. Jack, what did you say to Adam? And so I stand by that. And then when you see that corner club photo, a lot being made about whether or not that's Jack D. But to the right of the photo, Jack S is talking or looking at least in the direction of Adam. So those two looked like they were interacting, which leads me to believe that maybe Kaylee was asking Jack, not Maddie, what did you say to Adam? That's the number one thing. Number two, on Kaylee's IG, one of the last posts she made, there was a pic of the 5 roommates all together, and she says, what a lucky girl I am to be with these people every day. I mean, I'm reaching here when I say this, but if you look at Dylan and Bethany, their smiles are forced. They look fake a bit to me. So I'd just be interested in hearing what you guys have to say about that. But really love your show, all three of you. I love the way you guys chime in on things. And I'll just hang up and listen, boys. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
No
sir.
problem. Thank you, and thank you
Take
for
care.
the comments. We appreciate it. We're gonna put a pause on the calls just for a second so we can talk about this. But before we do, we have a super chat. Thank you so much, new sub. Nice, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, man.
So we're gonna put a pause just for a minute on the calls, and we'll bring them back. I promise. Let's look at this. So this does look like Hoodie Guy, who is suspected to be Jackass, allegedly. This looks like the owner of the spot here, the corner club, and this looks like Adam to me, allegedly. Over here you have the 2 girls. You have one already wearing the coat. Right here it says 11:32, but I think this time is wrong, y'all. A week earlier, the time change had occurred. And so on November 6th, time change had occurred. I don't know if they changed their clocks on their security cameras. If they didn't, this would be 12:32 a.m. Get what I'm saying? So time had just changed a week earlier. I don't think that if they were still there at 1:32, that they could have gotten to the grub truck, spent 11 minutes at the grub truck, and then made it home before 1:56. I mean, 1:32 plus the walk to the grub truck, it's 3 blocks. It's probably, they're walking not the fastest. They're under the influence of alcohol. So in my opinion, they're probably walking at a slower pace. Kaylee was on the phone the entire time she was at the grub truck. Apparently something happened on her phone, whether, the caller said he may have said Jack. I think it says Maddie, but, whatever happened, it appeared that she got a message on her phone, something, whatever it was said, that alerted her, and she was on the phone the entire time at the grub truck. So given all that and putting all that in context, it's in my opinion, they were walking a little bit slower. There's no way that they can get there, spend 11 minutes on their food and then get an Uber ride, which is probably another 5-6 minutes across town to their home and get there before 1:56. And so I think the time is off. I think daylight saving time kind of screwed up the time there.
Yeah.
Let's see. we've all speculated who we think this guy can be. It's one thing about it though is there's a lot of darkness into the guy's beard and whatnot, but that could be the angle, that could be shadows. You know, this is a pub. This is at probably anywhere between 12:30 and 1:30. 1:32. We'll say that that's a possibility. It's accurate. Let's just say, give it an hour earlier. Usually pubs aren't, well lit. And so it's probably a little bit lower lit than normal, than your normal room.
Yeah.
Doesn't look to be that busy in this corner, but it could be. Who knows what's going on over here.
Can you imagine going to a pub where it's bright as heck and people dancing all drunk? You're looking like a bunch. You walk into an insane asylum, bro. So of course, it has to be dark.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a pub. It's a pub. It's definitely a pub. There's beers everywhere. I've not been here before, so I couldn't tell you how well lit it is inside, but you can see a significant shadow on his face. And so maybe they're under a light. There's shadows around there. So it could be under a light. We'll turn the calls back on. I just wanted to kind of talk about that before we go further. But I don't know. Who do y'all think that guy is? Allegedly. Everything's alleged. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. And you guys tell me who you think it is. We went through this yesterday. Huh?
It looks like Jaime. Yeah. It's got the beard. It's got the hat.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that big of a beard, man.
Nah, there's no way this is Jaime. But one thing that I'll say about this image is it appears this guy is wearing tighter jeans you can see his socks, you can see his shoes tied up the way they are. This is not a clothing or style that you would expect from an older person. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are saying, man, that guy looks like he's 30, 40, 50 years old, something like that. I don't think that's the case. I don't see very many 30, 40, 50-year-olds wearing the tight, skinny jeans with the high water with their socks over their pants.
Yeah, no, I think it's just a younger guy around the victim's age.
I see those guys at the bars all the time, man. They're like 50 years old wearing their Dallas Cowboys shirts with tight-ass jeans and the Jordans, so it could be an old guy.
It could be, but like you now here's the thing: if it was him and he was wearing these shoes here, this was after the incident, I would suspect that there would be something there, unless he went home and changed.
Yeah,
he had another pair of shoes or something, but. These socks and these shoes look very similar to the ones that are in this picture.
They actually do, man.
Yeah.
Actually looks close to it too.
Yeah, I mean the shoes look very close to it. It's hard to tell, but they look very close. And the other thing is this hat, man. It looks like there's some kind of insignia there that's large. It's two-tone. You can see the different colors between the hat. It looks like this hat, and somebody said he doesn't wear his hat forward. We put a video out and somebody commented on it. He doesn't wear his hat forward. Yeah, he does. Yeah. And you can see that this hat is two-tone. This is the same hat, so it's not like it's a possibility that he had that hat, he doesn't have it anymore. This is after the incident, he has the hat on. His hands are in his pocket. Hands are in his pocket there. Socks, pretty, high waters. He doesn't look like a scrawny guy. A lot of people say he's scrawny. He don't look scrawny to me. And his beard is pretty thick. Apparently he was going through a heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? And thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
He's going through a heartbreak, possibly a little bit depressed. The breakup was very fresh. It sounded like when you hear the parents talking, it sounded like they had broken up some time ago and were on the mends. It only been 3 weeks. That's a fresh breakup.
Yeah, that's real fresh.
That looks like him, man. Like the hat matches the color. The shoes match. It might be him.
Yeah, it could be because it looks pretty close to what he's wearing. You know, his shoes and his hat, even like the beard, the way he has his beard.
Yeah, in this picture here. Yeah. Sunken eyes.
He's wearing some Schnikes.
Hat forward here. It looks like the mustache is a little bit thicker too. Yeah. It's interesting. Now, let's just say this is him. Is it possible that he left, he went home, fell asleep, and had nothing to do with this? Yeah, but it's suspicious, man. Like, I find it to be suspicious.
Yeah, he needs more for the alibi.
Mm-hmm. You know, I wonder why somebody would release this.
I don't know. I mean, like the things that have been released, hasn't been by most of the stuff hasn't been by the police. You know what I mean? The only thing that the police hasn't released was that video from the surveillance of the store, right?
Right. So the surveillance from the store has been released by the business, and somebody released that went from somewhere.
Yeah, and I want to get into the bar. You know, you can see the guy walking around, see him closer when he gets to the bar and order drinks and stuff like that. There's always cameras by the bars.
But what I'm wondering is, like, why would they release this? Why would somebody release it? Are they trying to draw speculation somewhere? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to get at? Maybe perhaps like somebody knows something more and they want to let that out so that people can talk about it. Maybe apply a little bit of pressure. Maybe the police released it, you know, just because they want somebody to come forward and talk. They want somebody to say something. You know, I had heard something about like right now, I would want to hear what Jack would have to say about his alibi, especially if I was in law enforcement investigating this. I want to hear him. I want him to talk as much as possible, because if he's lying, it's going to come up. It's going to pop up. I want as many people talking about it as possible that are informed in this case. That's witnesses, that's potential persons of interest, the whole 9 yards. You want everybody singing at this point. You know, there's no such thing as a gag order at this point. You know, those type of things come at once you go to court. There's evidence, and you don't want certain evidence going out to contaminate your case.
Yeah.
At this point, you want as many eyes, you want as many voices heard, coming from people of importance and relevance, right? And so, you know, I would want him to, if I was a police department, maybe perhaps they release this image so that they can get him to come forward and talk.
I think
that way they can poke holes in whatever alibi he may or may not have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 9mm is trying to call the line, or people are trying to call the line. I'm not sure.
I don't got any calls coming in.
I mean, like I said, it could be, but then again, law enforcement has to do all the interviews on every single person that they believe this has something to do, not with the case itself, but, you know, maybe as a witness around the home of the victims.
I'm gonna check my personal phone. I don't think anybody has this number, but let me just double check. There's a phone call, and it's 9mm. Let's see what she has to say. Welcome, 9mm, to the show. It's good to talk to you. How's it going?
Hey, mute me for a minute.
What was that?
Mute me.
Mute you. Okay. All righty. You are muted.
Okay, nobody can hear me but you.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Jaime, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, they can still hear it. They can still hear you. I turned it all the way down.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, everybody can still hear you. I had it muted for a second.
You have to mute yourself on the camera.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, do that.
All right, guys, you guys talk amongst yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
All right, she hung up.
We can still hear you, man. Even though you're real, I think you muted yourself. I can still hear you.
He never muted himself. It doesn't have.
Oh, he did it. Oh,
I did. Hold on. Let me mute myself right now.
yeah.
All right. I am muted. Can you hear me?
I can still hear you.
You know what? I know what it is. It's not that. It's.
There you go.
There you go.
Got it. All right, 9mm. I have another call coming in. Please call back afterwards. I know how to mute it.
We're still learning, guys. We're still learning.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show. You're live on the air. We have another call coming in, guys. Who am I talking with?
Hi, this is Melly.
Hello, Melly. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great. Just talking about the case. What are your thoughts and theories?
So, if that picture from the bar is real, like it's not photoshopped, I think it's 100% him. I mean, unless he has some doppelganger, who else could that be? It's a small town. I don't know. I've heard other people say he looks really old. It looks just like Jack D. So, I think that. And then I've heard like, oh, why would she be calling later? Why the friends? Maybe something happened there. I mean, this is only a picture. Maybe the one guy's like, Jackass said, oh, I'll walk you guys home. They noticed something happened in the bar. He went, maybe Jack D left earlier.
Get rid
But
of
I
the
don't
X.
think it's weird that they were calling at
her
that
video
time,
watch
especially if they saw him. But I think that if it is him, allegedly, it makes it really hard for the police to, he could say, yeah, I saw them. There's maybe DNA is why that's on him. I mean, that makes it hard. He's always in the house.
Right.
I don't know. That's just my thought. But I'm not, it could be somebody else, but I'm just trying to look at it at all angles.
For sure. I agree. I think it looks a lot like him. I'm not saying that it is. I know a lot of folks saying that he looks like an older gentleman. I think that, you have a grainy video here. It's almost impossible to tell if this guy is older, younger. His mustache and beard look thicker, but that could be because of the low lighting in the pub, and that also could be because of the angle of the camera, and it's in a downward position. And so, I know some folks have looked at the facial expression or the facial features and looked at like the nose and say, oh man, that nose is going over the mustache. If you look at his other pictures, it doesn't go over the mustache. But in his other pictures aren't from this angle. They're not from the downward looking angle, where if you're looking downward, for instance, if I do this, my nose looks like it goes over my mustache too. And so that doesn't tell me anything as far as that goes. It's very possible it could be him. That hat, those shoes, and his style of dress is on the suspicious side, needless to say.
Do you guys think that helps his case or hurts his case if he was there with them?
Well, I'm sure if it is him, that the police are aware that he's there. And if it's not him, I mean, if they weren't aware, I'm sorry, that he was there, then they would be questioning him and bringing him in very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that, if they caught him lying at a certain point, he would be more than just a person of interest. And so if it is him, I think the police are aware that he was there. Now, he hasn't come out and said anything as far as what he did leading up to. Well, he hasn't said anything. It was the family that came out and said that he was asleep during the text messages and the calls after 2:26 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't, and none of them have really come out. I'd be clearing my name, or at least having if I lawyered up, I'd have a lawyer put out a statement on my behalf, because I wouldn't want someone to think I was guilty.
I agree 100%. The only individual that's come out and talked on his behalf has been his aunt, and in all honesty, I think it pointed more of an arrow into his direction. It cleared up a couple things. We found out that he was the breakup was very recent, and why the breakup happened was because she was moving on with her life, and that she felt that the breakup was inevitable due to the fact that it was a long distance relationship. Now, I think that those are things that Jack told his family as to why the breakup happened. I don't know that that's the case so much. You look at this was supposedly a 5-year relationship. This guy thought this was going to be this person's, spouse. And, when she inquired about living in Austin area, it was only for about 6 months, and so it wasn't a long term possibility. And long distance relationships happen. One person usually moves. These guys weren't tied down to the area that they live in outside of the university. So I believe Jack is older than Madison, not by much, or they're about the same age. So it'd be in my, guesstimation that he was also on the verge of graduating, getting his degree as well. And so, why wouldn't he be able to find a work opportunity in Austin as well? And so I find that to be a little bit like, is that the truth, or is that what he's telling his family to save face? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's
And
see.
yeah, I read something today that the aunt put up like a GoFundMe to help pay for the car that she just got, and then the family, Kaylee's family, had her take that down and refund the money. So I don't know what's true or not, but I read that.
Yeah, I know that it was. I heard that they had not so much set up a fund, but I thought it was that they were a part of a fund, but it was to hire the private investigator to look into it.
Oh yeah, I mean I can't be for sure, just whatever I
Yeah.
read, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Things change depending on where you're reading it from. I tell you,
Yeah,
I
no,
found.
I mean that's the thing about calling in. You don't want to look like an idiot because you're only getting the information that's out there, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've seen so many different things where one news station said one thing and then it ended up being something completely different. And so, sometimes in the world of trying to get things out first and not right can lead to some issues like inaccuracies.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for calling in. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, and prayers to their families. That's a horrible time for everybody, and hope they find this person soon.
I
Yeah.
agree 100%. 100%.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Check your messages, Dan. And I just want to let y'all know is like, yeah, sometimes for some people it is a little scary calling into some shows or jumping on some shows. I mean, when we first started doing this, I jumped onto Doc Skinner's show. I mean, we all did, but remember that night, guys? It was crazy because they were all physicists and
Yeah. It was a little bit intimidating, I'll tell you that.
we were talking about dark matter and black holes, and I was just there holding my beer, just like agreeing because I knew some of it, but not all of it.
I want to say real quick though before we lose it. Thank you so much, Mark Rogers, for the $2 super
Thank you.
chat. Best alibi is sleeping, and 9mm and lipstick says Jack D is 22 and Kaylee is 21. So yeah,
what's it called? The more I look at this picture, man, from the bar, the more it kind of doesn't look like him. I'll be honest.
yeah, it's hard to tell, but the clothing is what makes it look like it's him. We got
Yeah,
another call. Go ahead. Oh, we got another call coming in. Welcome to the show. This is Daniel. Who we're speaking with?
Debbie.
Hello, Debbie. How's it going tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just talking about the case. What are your thoughts on what we're speaking about tonight?
Allegedly, I don't think that's Jack. One reason, that picture, he looks older, and another, Jack said that he was home playing video games that night, and then his parents said that he was sleeping. Nothing was ever said about him even being with Kaylee at all, so it would make him a liar. And from my opinion, from what I think, who I think is the one that did it, allegedly, I think Jack D did it, and I think the law enforcement think he did it. I think they're just building up enough evidence against him because so much. I mean, from what I've been, listening and everything right now, the defense will have a lot going for them because his evidence is already in the house, and so I think it's just, I think they're watching, because I think if it was him in that picture, from what I've been, what I've been listening to, he would be incarcerated right now.
Yeah.
Because it'd make him a liar, and with already they've already got him. He's probably number one on their list, in my opinion. So knowing that, and then if he says, I didn't see Kaylee, I mean, they just split up 3 weeks ago. I'm not trying to judge, but I mean, she does look a little bit out of his, she's pretty and he looks,
Not in the same league.
Right, thank you. And
No
so,
problem.
there's that, and they just split up. They share a dog together. She was taking the dog. She was moving away that next day. She was staying in that was her last night there.
Mhm.
I mean, that was her second night there. And
Yeah,
that was her last night.
I mean,
So
the one thing that I'll add to this that I find a little bit odd, and perhaps it not being JD, is if this is Adam over here, they were good friends. They allegedly lived together. Why is he with these group of people and not over here? These girls knew Adam. They were friends with Adam. They apparently were walking with Jack to the grub truck. Uh, allegedly,
this picture just looks photoshopped to me or something. I don't know. Maybe not, but I don't think that's Jack. And the interview with the dad standing there and Jack hugging the mother or the sister. I don't remember the mother. And the way that Jack and the dad looked at each other, and the way, I don't know. It's just like everybody keeps saying, look at it's easy, It's just, I think they're just waiting to build it up. The sister was in an interview, and I think she overdone it on saying that it's not the ex-boyfriend, not the ex-boyfriend. And after that interview, I watched a video. It was a clip of them showing them videotaping this interview, and she rolls her eyes afterwards. After she says that about Jack D. Allegedly, I'm putting that out there, but
no, understood 100%. Yeah, I think you're right. There'd be a good opportunity or a good chance that if this was Jack D, and he lied, that I mean that's not enough to put somebody behind, or to arrest somebody, but it changes the entire focal point. Like, what else are you lying about? And so they would definitely be digging deep, much further into him.
Yeah, and if it's not Jack D, I mean it's just all these you hear all these different scenarios, and some of them, I mean, people say it could be drug related or whatever, and it's, oh, that's crazy. Well, there's been crazier reasons why people have been killed, but I don't know, it just makes sense. But
no, I agree. It looks tough. It looks bad because of the clothing and the hat, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do want to say something there.
Blue wants to say something. Let's hear what he has to say, and then I'll let you know. Go ahead, Blue.
Adam is the one working the door, and he knows the locals that come in. He can easily ID the person that's there and tell the police who was there.
Right. So, Blue speculating that Adam here in the corner is working the door that night, and that he would know everybody that was there. And if it was Jack, I would assume he would also know that Jack was there and be telling him that. He would be informing the police department that he was there as well. I just found it odd as to like, why would somebody, release this? And it would have to be, in my opinion, perhaps maybe somebody from the bar that had access to this footage. Maybe perhaps somebody who's got some attention pointing at him and wants to take that attention off of him.
Well, seeing the guy standing by the door, that looks like the chief.
I think that's the owner of the bar.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They've shown some pictures of him. It looks very close to it being the owner.
I've heard on other, streams, people are saying that, the way he stands and everything, and
he looks like he's holding on to something on his
yeah.
And it would appear that if he had like a holster on that where his hand would be at. It sounds like. No, I get it, but Big Blue's gonna say something real quick. What else you got, Blue?
A lot of people say the photo is Photoshop. It could be. We want to see the video. The video, it's really hard to Photoshop a video. like that with moving people in it. So
Yeah.
once the video comes out, we have more of an idea who it is. They'll come closer to the camera as they're walking in. You get a better idea of them, and then also when they go to the bar, like I said, there's got to be more cameras at this bar. Like I've been saying that for a while, because I remember one time a friend of mine did some stupid stuff at a bar, and then he got him on camera, so his photos on the wall. You know?
The one thing that makes me believe that it's not, and Blue was just kind of going into that he thinks that this is footage from in there, and that he's not sure if it's photoshopped or not. But I'll say this on that real quick. It's very difficult, if not impossible, to Photoshop shadows on the ground. You know what I mean? It's not impossible,
Right.
but to do it and also do it with the grainy lines through it, that's going to be kind of difficult. I don't think it's photoshopped.
What's it? Go ahead.
But yeah,
Do you think that's Jack D?
I don't know if it's Jack D, to be honest with you. Like, I wouldn't put money on it one way or the other, put it that way. Jaime has a question real quick. Jaime, what's your question? Then I'll relay it.
Not much of a question, but like, do you think if they're gonna leak a photo, they will leak the video instead? No.
Jaime says, if they were to leak a photo, don't you think they would have leaked the video instead? It's possible. I mean, it depends on who had this. You know, you're looking at.
That's what.
Remember the white car that the gas station released? There was a video there, and what was released was a still image of that car driving down the street, and that's probably because it was somebody who had access to it, but not ability to change or record or do those type of things. And so, in my opinion, I mean, this looks like a picture of a screen. This is probably somebody who couldn't get this off of their surveillance onto a disc or something, and probably somebody who works at the corner club, and maybe, like I mentioned before, somebody. Why would they release that? In my opinion, it might be because he's trying to divert attention away from him. Could have been this guy. But I want to thank you so much for the call. Do you have any other comments?
No, I think that's all I wanted to say. Other than a lot of people, like when they'll say, well, they cleared this person or they cleared that person. I mean, they can say anything they want. They can lie. They can do whatever, you know.
You're right.
That means
you're absolutely
that
right.
means nothing.
Clear today, cut tomorrow is a saying that is out there for a reason. Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate
I'm glad
you.
I found your channel. I just recently found you, so I'm glad I found you.
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. We're trying to spread our name out there a little bit more. So we appreciate it.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
You too. We have another call coming in, guys. Let me answer this one.
Do it.
You have a good night.
You're on the show. This is Daniel J with the Drunk Turkey Show. How's it going? Who are we speaking with?
Hey, how's it going? I've been watching you for a minute. I turned off the sound here. I was going to explain why it's real easy to tell that this has been photoshopped. The reason why, if you can zoom in and look at the girls, okay, and you'll notice that on the picture that you'll see these vertical lines that run from north to south, okay? And then now if you look at the lady with the yellow, the white shirt and white pants, now those lines are crooked. That's where you can tell that someone cut that out and pasted that because the lines are crooked. And it's that easy, man. You know, I mean, I'm no photo expert, but it's real easy to tell. Yeah. You know, usually, I mean, I'm on a laptop. You know, I don't have a real good picture, but you can easily tell. Even look at her feet. Like if you scroll down a little bit and look at her shoes, it looks like she's kind of hovering right there. You know, you notice that?
Yeah, she looks. You're right. She does look a little bit.
I mean, all you got to do is, so many people. I've seen so many comments saying, "Oh, it's true. It's a real photo." Yeah, I'm sure it's a real photo, but it's a Photoshop photo. You know, that's why they don't have a video of it.
No, I think you're onto something there. It does look like the lines do kind of move And,
oh, big time. What at her line, like on her pants and her shirt, you can see these are running, at a kind of collywampus a little bit. And then you kind of zoom in, you can really tell right here to the right of the girl that's wearing a jacket, you can see these black lines that run, 12 to 6, just perfect north and south. If you look down to the floor,
right,
look at the floor. You see the black lines around her, all these perfect vertical lines everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Good. But there the Photoshop.
Look at the corner, Danny. It says camera 3. There's got to be 2 more cameras to look at.
Yeah, Blue says that at the corner says camera 3, that there's got to be 2 more cameras to look at. Yeah, no, I agree to that, Blue. Let me see. Does his face run into hers? Is there?
You can see right there on that where it's around her hair and her shoulder. You can see the lines at a weird angle.
Yeah, no. When you mentioned that, these lines here are. I mean, if you look at this guy's shirt, they're 100% up and down. These do kind of they do kind of move, but what I'm also looking at is this line doesn't stop all the way down. These lines curve all the way back here.
Now, see how it looks like they stop on the where her pants are?
Yeah.
Like just if you look real close, I mean, if you get real technical, I mean not technical, but it's just
yeah, because
the main question is if why don't they just have the video?
Yeah.
If it's a good DVR.
Right. My theory is that the person doesn't have access to downloading the video onto something that they would have access to. Similar to the lady that took a picture of the white vehicle in the gas station. She was just an employee there. She didn't own the gas station, so she took a picture of the screen because that's all she had availability for.
This is off topic, but a lot of people don't realize how much, to join a fraternity, you have to pay every semester about anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to join that fraternity.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so a lot of people don't really realize how, I think these kiddos are pretty fortunate, or were, because the expenses it costs just to join a fraternity and a sorority,
Right.
Usually about $35 for female and about between $4,000 to $5,000 each semester, and a lot of people don't, so we all know how some of those people act, when they're just have a well, I'm not gonna. Never mind. I'm not gonna say this on
okay
on live TV.
Yeah, no, I understand, but
You-
yeah, no,
you guys-
it would definitely be something that is pricey. I've heard it. I wasn't aware of how much those fraternities charge per semester to be a part of their group or their home. But no, I've definitely heard that.
Very expensive.
Yeah, no, exactly. Very much so. I find what you say interesting in this. It does look. One thing I will say that is, I'll say this too. It looks like the lines, like on this side of her, stop at her, and they don't continue.
Exactly.
And
you can,
like over here, they continue onto the ground, but
big time.
And like all these continue all the way through. So I'll say that's interesting. It could be the color. It could be a lot of things.
I'd say 10,000% it's Photoshop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's they didn't take that much time. They just kind of did a. I don't know.
Yeah, it very well could.
I mean, where did this come from? It's like, is people claiming this, or I mean, things that make you go, huh?
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I think I saw an article earlier. I'm gonna go back and look at this article and see if they've been able to verify it. Um,
Yeah, that would be I would like to ask them a few questions.
yeah, yeah,
Were they received this? You
yeah.
know.
Let me.
So what? How do you feel about this uh, suspect? Who do you think it is?
I honestly think that it's somebody close to Adam, and it could be Jack, but I think it's somebody in Adam's circle. It could very well have been Adam himself. Um, you know, when I see the footage of the two girls walking towards the grub truck, and one of them says, "What did you tell Adam?"
Yeah.
And then the entire time, which is Kaylee, she's on the phone that she's at the grub truck. She doesn't leave the phone. She's constantly on that phone. Her friend comes over, gives her a hug. She barely even
Right.
notices her and then goes back to her phone. I think something important happened at that moment
It seemed
that,
like they kind of dissed him, or in that video in that grub truck.
right.
Did you kind of get that vibe too? When I
Yeah.
mean, they didn't even say bye to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. I
Well,
mean,
in, in trueness, if let's just say that this wasn't Jack, right? Let's just say this is a real picture because, um, it does look like it's inside the corner club. It does look like it is on that date and time. Maybe somebody photoshopped these two girls in there and somebody that looks like Jack, just to, um, to make people think that it was that it's him, right? Um,
what was his alibi? Didn't he say he was sleeping and not at a bar? Huh?
well, Jack Decor said that the parents of Kaylee had stated that the reason he didn't answer the phone was because he was asleep at 2:26. So there's a possibility that he was still at the bar at 1:30, 2:30, 12:30, and
True.
then went home and fell asleep. And those two things can be true at the same time.
Mm.
I know one thing. If I,
It was sleeping.
had a, if I was me and my girl, if something happened to my girl, we were still good friends. Man, I would be livid, livid. You know.
Yeah.
And he hasn't put his face or said anything to nobody about it.
Maybe
You know.
he had sleep drinking.
But
I
again,
that sometimes.
people can mourn however they want to, but it's just 4 people. That is wow.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Um, in fact, let me pull up this article real quick, and I'm gonna bring this up, and we're gonna read this here in a second. This is from the New York Post. On if it loads, sometimes the New York Post their crap doesn't work all the time. Let's see. There you go. This one will work. Um, yeah, no, we appreciate your insight. Thank you so much. You did really put out something to look at.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your call, and you have a great night.
Okay.
All right, bye. So what do you guys think? I'm gonna mute the calls for a second because I want to talk about this with the guys real quick. So the calls are gonna be muted. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's Photoshop?
Man, if it is that somebody's trying to, get them off their own trail, you know what I mean? But if it isn't, we still don't know if it's actually from that day. Just because it says the date on the side doesn't really mean it's actually the day of. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they're wearing the same clothing that they were at the grub
Yeah,
trucks.
but I mean it's black and white,
Yeah.
Well, what's it called that? And I don't know. Like the more I look at that picture, the more I don't think it's. I don't think it looks what he's wearing. What he's wearing looks like Jack D, but I don't know the facial features. Doesn't. I don't think it's him. So it looks similar to him, but then again, like take for me as an example, I have my cousin, my older cousin. I look exactly like him. Everybody confuses us all the time, and we're like 15 years apart. So I don't know.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's see what Fox News or Fox had to say on this. Fox says a newly leaked image of 2 of the 4 University of Idaho victims has emerged, revealing little information in the case. As the investigation nears the 7th week without a suspect, authorities confirm early in the investigation that the 2 victims Kaylee and Madison spent several hours in the corner club downtown Moscow before returning home early hours of November 13th. This image, which began circulating early Tuesday, shows two women who appear to be wearing the same clothes as Gonzalez and Mogan before the attack. It appears they've been taken by a security camera inside the bar at timestamp. If the timestamp is accurate, it would have been at 1:32 a.m. Police have collected hours of surveillance video from cameras inside and outside of the bar. So there are cameras inside, which is popular among college students and where young staffers were friends with the victims. Goncalves and Mogan stopped at a food truck nearby, then got a ride to their King Road rental house, arriving just before 2 a.m. Housemate Zana Kernoto and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin, both 20, had returned a few minutes earlier after attending a party at nearby Sigma Chi fraternity house. And so it doesn't say whether or not they believe that it was legit. And it just says that this is surfaced, but they do confirm that there are cameras inside the establishment. But I'm with you, man. My initial thoughts at looking at this was that it wasn't him, that it looked like somebody that was older. It wasn't until I took a look at the hat and the shoes that I thought to myself, man, maybe it is, you know. But if it is him, why is he there and not over here with this guy and this guy who he was allegedly very good, close friends with him? You would assume that he would be, you know, associating with, you know, these group of guys. That's like me at the bar and you and Jaime over here, or you and Blue over here. I'm over here, and like it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
But to me, he's working the door, so he can't leave the door. He's got to ID everybody that walks in. That's to me.
Let me see. I'm not sure if that's the door. I mean, it could be. I don't know the ins and outs of this place. I would assume they would have a sign, no alcohol, you know, beyond this point or something if this was the door. We got to look inside the corner club to see where we can find where this was located. Looks like there's a bar. There's a couple of picture frames around. There's a table here. Open area. I'm sure we can find it pretty easy. Let me see.
I look at maybe their Facebook page. They'll have photos of it. Every business has Facebook pages now.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. I've been there. That's how I found the picture of Adam behind the bar. That one when we were trying to figure out who Adam was.
And to me, I think the picture's real. I think it's real, but he does look a little older in that photo, so I can't guarantee it's him.
I mean, the guy's been going through a rough breakup, man. Could have let his beard grow, let himself go a little bit, you know, drink a little bit, look a little, you know, let himself go out. I want to thank Amy. Let me pull it back up, for being one of our newest members. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're probably going to only be on here. We're probably not going to take any more calls, guys, because we've already passed the 1.5 hour mark. We try to limit these down to about an hour and a half. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. You know, based on the type of content that we put out there, majority of this stuff gets limited. Monetization doesn't happen. And so the only way to spread our channel and get our channel to get out there is by hitting the like button and subscribing. That helps the algorithm kick that off. And, you know, it doesn't cost anything. We would appreciate that. Let's see. I'm looking at their website right now. Or I'm not seeing much from inside, but they could have taken a lot of stuff down given this investigation, which I find. Let's see. There's pictures back there in this reflection. I don't know. So many questions, not that many answers. Do you think that they're getting close, guys? Do you think there's a possibility there's going to be an answer to this case before the end of the year?
Well, with the press release they released earlier and didn't say much about the case, but I think it's going to be a little standstill for right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. You know, he Chief had a. Let me see if I can find it. He had he came out and was talking, and they were talking about how they took some time off. They for the holidays, they had, detectives and people assigned to the case on rotation so that somebody was investigating it at all times. But for the most part, they took their time off. They spent time with their families, which is understandable. It's the holidays and whatnot. But that leads me to believe that they're not as close as we would hope they would be. I would anticipate if they were on the verge of solving this or having somebody in cuffs, that would take priority over the holiday period. Don't you think? I'm going to hold you to that. If they solve it before January, I'll buy each of you guys a bottle of bourbon.
Somebody screenshot this, man.
We got to timestamp this. Thank you so much, JJ.
We gotta pressure the law enforcement out there. You gotta get yourself some bourbon.
I jumped onto their Instagram. They have a little bit more photos on their Instagram of the inside of the bar.
Got you.
Trying to
send it to us in the chat. Send it to me in the chat. That way, send me their Instagram.
What's it called if they solve it before February? Then J Jam's gonna come on with us and drink.
Yeah, he's gonna drink a bottle with us. We appreciate that. We appreciate everybody in the live chat. And if you guys have any thoughts or theories, or you don't feel comfortable coming out on the show, you can hit us up at our email at drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. You can hit us up on the Twitter. You can hit us up at Facebook, Drunk Turkey Show, and you can send us your tips, send us your information that you may not want to get out there. Now, of course, we want you guys to tell, if you have something of context that is real, you need to tell the Moscow Police Department. But if you don't want to get involved with them and you feel that you don't feel comfortable with the police for whatever reason, and you want to come to us, we're more than happy to report that to them for you, things of that nature, and put it on the show. Maybe it'll help. We have no problems with that. Do you have any final questions, guys, or comments before we go?
No, man. I just want to, say that with the close-knit community like it was with the victim's house in the middle of everybody's little community right there, the little neighborhood, I'm surprised a lot more witnesses didn't come out. You know what I mean? Or maybe they're afraid. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's possible.
Yeah. But other than that, man, I just want to say happy holidays to everybody. Happy New Year's, drive safe, be safe, because there's a lot of crazy people out there. The way they drive, trust me, they're crazy, man. You got to be careful out there and stay safe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you, Big Blue? Any final thoughts or
I just want to tell everybody thank you for the donations. Thank you for becoming members. I just want to tell everybody, hopefully their holidays went well. New Year's is coming. Y'all be safe. I know it's a drinking holiday. I will be drinking that day also, so y'all take care.
For sure, and for sure.
Driving is dangerous. I've seen too many people die from it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to answer your question, Susan, we have looked into Hunter Johnson. We did a video on him a couple of days ago, so check that out. The way you can find some of our older content, I know we've done a lot of shows, so it can be kind of a lot. If you go to our playlist, we have it under M Mystery. Click on there, you'll see all of our playlists. We also have one under Idaho 4 if you want to just stick to the Idaho 4. But if you want to look at some of our other content, we've talked about the Delphi case. We kind of broke down the PC affidavit, and we think that Richard Allen has been kind of nailed to the wall on that one when it comes down to the timeline. We broke it down step by step. I highly recommend to go watch that. We also, covered the Casey Anthony case. We've covered Vanessa Guillen. And most recently, and you guys have to check this one out. We got this little girl still missing out of North Carolina, Madalena Kochikari. We did a case on a breakdown on that. So please go check that out. And like and subscribe, guys. We couldn't do this without you guys doing that. We wouldn't be able to reach out to as many people and put. Oh man, I'm sorry, Miss R003. I read your comment. Our condolences. The only way that we can get out there and reach, as many people as we can, and open ideas and look at these and look at the evidence in a different perspective, perhaps, is if you guys like and subscribe. And so we would appreciate that. But with that said, guys, I think we're going to call it a show. Thank you so much, y'all.
Thanks to the members and everybody.
Thank you so much. In fact, you know what? Thank you for reminding me, Jaime. We have to say hello to our members. We can't go without saying thank you to the members. And so the members are Amber Ness, 9mm and lipstick, Pam Thorson, Kara Fro, Leticia Guerra, Carol Kellerman, George Teston, Susan G, Bernadette Oliver, Free Flight, Cheryl Stapleton, Faf Uki, 420 Mama, Dorita 43 that we saw in the live earlier. And 9mm and lipstick is one of our great moderators. If you guys are interested in being a moderator, please email me. We have two that are consistent in there. We need a little bit more. Sometimes we get up to like 3,000 live chat members in the live chat, so it would help us out. We have Darlene TF, Moraine Ingo, who has emailed me quite a bit about this case. She's coming in from across the pond. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
And so she's got some fantastic ideas as well. Dorsey Granger. So appreciate you all. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate our members. Thank you so much, guys. The email, it's right here, drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. We appreciate everybody. Peace out.
Yeah, thank you everybody from all across the world.
Yes, sir. It's one of those days.
Yep.
Hey, Blue, don't forget your pasties are on.
Mm-hmm. Next time.